Hi everyone. This video that I'm making here is to talk about the reasons why I've decided, for now anyway, and I'm hoping it's going to stick, to dramatically stop collecting vinyl, and in particular non-Beatles related vinyl. And I was talking about this off and on here and there in some live streams, and I was hinting at it in my What's New for 2023 video. But I wanted to make a dedicated video just for this topic because it's very important for this channel. And before I really get into it, I want to say at the beginning, please folks, there's no need in the comments to say things that people typically make whenever I make a video of this type. In other words, Joe, there's no need to justify your decisions to us. You don't have to justify your decisions to anybody. You don't have to justify them to yourself. You don't need everybody's approval. It's your channel. Do what you want to do. Folks, I understand that. The reason I do this is because, I've been doing this channel for almost 11 years. It'll be 11 years in May. And a lot of you have stuck with me for a long time. I know a lot of you have said that you've watched me from my first video. And that's really, really amazing. But I think I want to share things with you. That's what the channel is about. It's not so much that I need to do this for your sake or approval, but I just want to share with you what I'm doing, because a lot of you have been here for a long time, and this channel began as a vinyl collector's channel. That was the idea of it. That's why I started Mean Mr. Mayo. The idea was I got back into vinyl in 2011, and then in 2012 I decided I'm going to leap into YouTube and make videos about vinyl collecting, and that's what this was. And it's still going to be about vinyl collecting to a degree. So I don't want you thinking, those who are really into the vinyl aspects of this, I don't want you thinking that there aren't going to be any vinyl videos ever. That's not true. The main thing is that, look, I've decided, there's no joke here. I mean, look at this, I'm overrun with vinyl, and other rooms too have vinyl in them. And any vinyl collector out there knows that vinyl is very big in size. It gets very heavy when they're together. And I think if you're living in a house that you plan on staying in for the rest of your life, it's the place you're going to die in, let's say, I think in that case, maybe you don't feel so bad about having lots of vinyl around. But for me, I'm going to be moving from this place. I'm going to be moving from this place. I don't know. It could be this year. It's probably going to be next year or the year after. But in the next year or two, 3 tops, I'm going to be moving out of here, and I don't want to take all this stuff with me to the next place I'm going to be. But also, I want to talk about how I've been collecting vinyl, too much of it, and sometimes for the wrong reasons. I'm going to own up to it. I'm going to admit it. I think other people have made videos like this. When you have a channel like this, you get excited to buy new stuff and you want to share it with everybody. I mean, that's part of it, right? Hey, look at the new vinyl finds. Now, I'm not going to just buy vinyl by just any artist, even an artist I don't care about, just to have something to show here on the channel. I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy a Kanye West album. I'm not going to go out and buy a Taylor Swift album just so I could say, looky here, folks, look what I got. Isn't that pretty? That's not the idea. In addition to vinyl sounding so good and being fun to play, I mean, it's great to interact with a vinyl record, actually hold it, put it on the turntable, flip it over, put the stylus on. That's all great. That's all part of it. But what I noticed was happening to me, and still is to a degree, that I'm trying to conquer, it's the item. When it comes to vinyl, it's the item that I've been focused on more than the music, you see. And that's really key here. In my decision. When it comes to these things, I want it to be mainly about the music. It's mostly about the music. The music is what we're here for. As I've said, I'm still going to be collecting things that are just interesting artifacts. It's going to be great to collect maybe a couple of old 78s from the 40s or something in shellac. Going to be great to have like a Buddy Holly album or original from 1959, the early 60s. Really pristine. Yeah, there's still that part of it, but the thing about, oh, this is so great, it's because it's got all the shrink wrap on it and the hype. Again, we're talking non-Beatles albums here. uh, that's what I am now changing about it. To me, it's about the music. You know, there's no point in having an album like the one that I got on vinyl. There's the Best of the Lovin' Spoonful on vinyl, and it's in mint condition, and inside it's actually got several photographs of the band, 8x10 photographs. Isn't this a cool piece? I've been collecting too much when it comes to non-Beatles vinyl because of the piece, because of what a cool item it is. That's the main mentality that I'm going to change. It's not that I'm collecting about the item, it's the music when it comes to non-Beatles stuff. So in a case like this, something like this Lovin' Spoonful anthology with 26 tracks on it, this will do me. I don't have to buy 3 or 4 or 5 vinyl records in really nice shape with original cellophane on it. It looks like brand new, like they just came out of the store from the 60s. I don't have to do that. I'm not going to do that for every artist that's not Beatles anymore. That's the difference. That's one of the main changes. It'll be CDs because you're interested to hear it, the music. That's the main difference now. I'm realizing that I'm better served by listening to compact discs, CDs. I listen to them in my car. I take them on the run with me. I find CDs are just so much, excuse the obvious, but compact. They're smaller, they're easier to store, not as cumbersome. They're not as mass quantities that overrun your house. So definitely for me, CDs are going to be coming to the fore for most of my non-Beatles related music. That's a decision that I've made, and I really like the decision. And I have one here that I show an awful lot. I just got this. I have about 12 or 13 Neil Diamond vinyl records. Why? Because I do love vinyl. I love collecting vinyl. I love the album cover art, and I like Neil Diamond. It's an artist that I like. But do I have to have 12 or 13 Neil Diamond albums, of which I've only listened to maybe 3 of those? No. So this covers me. The 50th anniversary of Neil Diamond. There are 3 CDs in here. I'm covered. Small little space like that covers everything that I need. I can take this with me when I go out, put it in my portable CD player in the car, drive. I also have a 5-disc CD changer. So I can take 5 different CDs by different artists and put them in there in one shot. Boom, listen to them. Yeah, there's just many more conveniences I'm finding out, or revisiting the CDs. I haven't been into CDs this heavy since the 1980s and 90s, really, In fact, if you ever watch my first video that I ever made, the first video I did here, the introduction to the vinyl community, the first words I say is, hello, vinyl community. And I go on about what was I thinking with CDs? Vinyl sounds so much better. And oh my, CDs don't sound as good. Vinyl sounds so much better. That's where my head was at 11 years ago. My head's not that anymore. I still think vinyl sounds warmer. I still get the vinyl sound. I love it. But you know what? I'm always happy with the CD sound. CD sounds great too. So for now, this is what it's going to be. And those are the decisions that I'm making, Now that, again, I said earlier, that doesn't mean I'm not going to collect any non-Beatles vinyl at all, because there's some artists I may want to keep. I know I'm going to keep. I collect Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. I collect Bob Dylan, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, some old General albums from the 1960s. I like Elvis Presley. There are certain vinyl albums I will continue to bring in here. And occasionally, yes, I will occasionally buy an album, vinyl album, just because I think it's a dynamite looking cover, and I think it's a great piece of, art, and it's cool to own, and I will still do that. But it's a good bet that the vinyl finds of all kinds videos are going to be fewer and far between. There'll probably be more CD finds of all kinds, CDs, and occasionally, like I said, I don't want people to see a vinyl video finds and a thing and saying, oh, this guy completely reneged on what he said he was going to do. I'm telling you right from the beginning, I'm still going to be buying a little bit of vinyl. It's just not going to be the way it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a lot of this non-Beatles vinyl. I'm going to try to get as much money back as I can. The way I'm going to do that is there are people that I know personally that want to buy some records for me, and I'm going to get the money that I want for it. I'm not going to be selling them back to record stores for like a mere pittance of what I paid. That's not going to happen. I'm going to try to get as much as I can. There'll be some records, Dean Martin, Tom Jones, Frank Sinatra, those kind of records I'll probably just siphon out of here. If anybody's watching this right now and they are interested in any records that I have that they know I have, maybe they've seen in videos or something, maybe there's a way we can get in contact. The thing is, I'm not interested in putting all my information out there. I want it to be easy. I want it to be a kind of like just basically, here we are, anonymous, boom, and that's it. And I don't do PayPal, I don't do eBay. I just want to do cash. So along those lines, I'm also seriously contemplating later in the year, in the spring or the summer, going to a record show and bringing crates of my records to the record show and selling them for cash only, no credit cards or anything, cash, and maybe doing it that way, getting a table to one of these shows. After I get done with my friends, I know there's a couple of people, I know my friend Julio, my friend Richie, they have big vinyl collectors. They want to take a look at my collection. After I get rid of what I can from my immediate friends and people associates, people that I know personally, then the rest of it, the bulk of it, will come to a record show probably, and that's how I'll sell it. And if I happen to come in contact with anybody online that I know, that I trust, that can work with me or something, maybe we'll arrange something. But the bottom line is, it's going to happen, folks. It's going to happen. Now, am I saying that I'm not going to make another video 5-10 years from now saying, guess what, folks, I'm back into vinyl big time? Anything can happen, especially when I move to a new house and I'm able to play music loudly on a great turntable. So I'm saying, look, I changed my mind. I have no problem with changing my mind. Some people don't like people changing their minds. I don't know of anybody who's being true to themselves if they staunchly have one held view and opinion and way of doing things all the time and never grow or change or have different interests. I don't get that. I don't regret a thing that I've done from my first video till now. Don't regret a thing. I've had fun the whole way through with all these vinyl finds of all kinds. And I even did earlier on, I did a series called Assorted Vinyl Finds. So there's assorted vinyl finds, and then there's vinyl finds of all kinds. Don't regret a thing. I had a blast. But the truth is, I've accumulated a lot of stuff. And out of the records that I bought, I probably actually physically played, I don't even think half of them. Half of what I bought. I don't think so. Hey, it is what it is. I'm being honest with you. There's stuff you haven't gotten to as well. You always think you're going to get to it. You're going to get to it. You're going to get to it. Then you don't get to it. So it's going to be tough in some cases because, I have the vinyl addiction kind of thing. It's great to go to the record store. And there are times when I see an album and I'm like, oh, man, I have this on CD, but it would be so cool to have it on vinyl, No, not everything. Some things, the few things here, sure. I think I'll end by saying, of my non-Beatles related vinyl that I have here, I'm sure I'm going to be getting rid of, I think the best number is 75% of it. 75 to 80% of it. Thanks, everybody, and I'm looking forward to your comments. And I just wanted to share this with you because I've been making a channel for 11 years soon. You've been following me. I update you on what I'm doing on the channel. All right? Take care.